Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of Create Expectations. So if you have not watched part 1, you need to go and watch it on Sarah's channel first. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all of the fun things, get all the context, and then come back here where we will not be talking about datacrons ever again.
Never?
Never.
Okay.
They're gone. Yeah, and then we can just continue.
I'm going to try to fit them in now, somehow.
No.
Very good. Okay. Yeah, so let's do viewer questions.
All right. Okay, so there's two. Jason Trickett was asking what your tenacity is on Wampa and speed on Jedi Knight Luke.
Was this aimed directly at me, or is it us both?
I don't know. It just said your. It didn't say who your was.
Okay, so are you prepared to answer that question?
I mean, I can look it up.
You just assumed that it was asking me.
I did.
Okay, so Jason Trickett, here's the thing. When you add a datacron to all right, so Wampa, I still have him at really high tenacity. So he's at 170, which brings him to 270 from his kit. And then, of course, he ramps from there. And the whole goal is I need him to be consistent against a lot of different teams that try to out potency his tenacity. And especially, and I don't mean to poke the bear here, but if they do have a datacron that gives a lot of potency to the team, it's nice to have a high tenacity Wampa that's going to still be able to resist that and move on. Because the only time that you're at risk at this to potency itself is at the start, but that's a vital point because a lot of teams are going to be faster than your Wampa, and so your Wampa is going to go second. If they can manage to stun you on their first shot, like Iden versio is the real obvious one here. If they can manage to stun you on their first shot, they'll kill you because you don't have enough survivability to survive 2 full rounds of them shooting at you. But if you have enough tenacity to resist whatever stun attempts they have, then you're just good to go. Because then you do the AOE, you get all your protection up, and you've got game. So
And you're set.
yeah. So what about you? What's your tenacity, Sarah?
Mine's at 165.
Okay, so basically the same as me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then on my alt, he has almost 0 added tenacity actually because he's only relic 5, and I really needed to prioritize health there, so I have to kind of tiptoe around teams that might stun him. And like one of the things, so everyone's like, "Man, I'm so glad Set 1's going away." Set 1 didn't give me like any issues ever for like at any point. It helped a lot though because it could give my Wampa a much needed shot in the arm and give him 60 tenacity when I needed it.
Right. You would just put a cube on.
Yeah, it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, and none of that was intended to trigger you there, Sarah. I promise. So for real. So Jedi Knight Luke, though. Speed. What's your speed?
170.
Oh wow. Okay, so slow.
He's slow.
Interesting.
He is quite slow.
Okay. What's your reasoning behind slow Jedi Knight Luke?
I had modded him. The last time I remodded him was right before datacrons were introduced. And I had modded him for the Jedi Knight Revan, Jedi Knight Luke counter for Kylo. So I wanted him slow.
Oh, see, I have him modded for that counter, and mine is at 243. So apparently we're going off of different guides. And I wrote one of the guides, just saying. But anyways, no, that it's interesting. I actually didn't know that there was a build that let him be that slow. I thought maybe it was something to do with his leadership, because if you use his lead, he's able to reduce your opponent's speed as well to whatever his is. Yeah, minus 240. I totally ignore any of the speed stuff from his leadership. Like, his leadership can be good in some cases, but Honestly, 243 in this day and age is actually fairly slow for the meta I'm in, and so if I have to use his lead for whatever reason, it still reduces a lot of my opponent's speed by a really significant amount anyways. Like 243 is it's a decent amount for him, but I think he's like base 100 or something like that.
Um, Slightly above that. I only have 58 extra speed on him.
Okay, so like base 112, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anyways, yeah, his speed is just based off of needing to go in a particular turn order against Supreme Leader Kylo.
Mm-hmm.
So that.
Yeah, I haven't had issues. I mean, Datacron's kind of ruined it, but
Okay. Yeah, so good job on not mentioning Datacrons.
mm-hmm.
Next question.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Joshua French was asking, do territory battle Omicron stocks go up with the new territory battle being introduced? I feel like they do since rosters are looking to be stretched in 3 directions, but wondering what insight you and XP have.
So can I go first? Because I think you're going to have a more robust and meaningful answer.
Sure.
Okay, so territory battle Omicrons. Right now, I feel like there's no reason to apply them right now. Like apply them later down the line because like save them if you're like, okay, I want to apply one for territory battles. Unless you have a business reason to do it, I don't think that any of them work. Like a business reason is in I feel like you were saying you need a new light side team because you're donating a lot for platoons. I think that
Mm-hmm.
that's a very reasonable reason to apply an Omicron. But if you're like me and I'm just like, well, like none of my teams would actually benefit that much from it anyways, really. Like I could take some Mon Mothma teams, I guess, but the characters I would want to take don't have enough gear to even like be allowed to try the
Right.
later waves, and so there's not much point in me applying any of the territory battle ones. And so if I want, I think yes, their stock is improved, but we don't know what the mechanics of the new territory battle is, and so we need to wait. Like I'm actually a tiny bit excited to apply one. There's going to be a few of them. You just know that there's going to be a few that are like borderline mandatory.
Right.
Just like right now, in a way, like Mara Jade is, borderline mandatory for territory wars or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or Qui-Gon Jinn or Zam for GAC, etc. Okay, so I want to hear what your thoughts are here, though, Sarah.
Um, so okay, so I think territory battle Omicrons kind of get this really weird, they're in this really weird zone because 9 times out of 10, the content creators that are speaking about them are in endgame guilds. So you don't need Omicrons because you're already at the point in territory battles that you are maxing dark side and light side. You're going as far as you possibly can for your guild size. Um, so that's like one snippet of it. If you're in a guild that is struggling, or if you're in a guild where you do need to have more teams, then I think they do have value. A lot of them make going 4 out of 4 stupid easy. Like consistently, every single phase. If you track your waves, just write down 16 waves for whatever team you're going to give the Omicron to, because I have not heard of anyone that has a territory battle Omicron losing.
Okay.
So I have I know tons of people who have the Kyle Katarn one and have gone 4 out of 4 with like somehow losing 2 characters in the first wave, and they managed to go 4 out of 4 with it. The Rolo one is stupid easy, especially if you have a lot of people in your guild who need a CLS squad. Then Rolo kind of gives you the opportunity to do that team instead. But the one that I'm actually really excited for that I personally want to do is Finn. Finn looks amazing. We actually have somebody in our guild who has done it and used it in all of the phases. And it is just, you just walk through the 4 phases with basically leftover resistance characters, including Rose. Like he was using Rose on his squad. And it's stupid easy. And it doesn't matter if you lose a character because you get to the next wave and everyone revives. So
Unless I'm guessing that doesn't apply to the
sniper droid.
permadeath ones, yeah.
Right. But I mean, if your team's coming back, that's a huge benefit.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I was just clarifying. That's all. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you talking about it makes me kind of like want one, and I want one anyways, just because it's fun and exciting because the new game mode and this and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to choose one right now, I would go with Kyle Katarn.
Right.
Just because I'm a Kyle Katarn fanboy, and the Mon Mothma team is so fun. If you can optimize them, if you can really get them running, like that's like I don't know if I wouldn't say I'm like the content creator who's like focuses on Mon Mothma or the most or whatever, but I feel like most content creators just throw them on defense in GAC, and I'm like, man, you can do so much. You can do
Mm-hmm.
so much with Mon Mothma, but no one realizes it.
Well,
They're like,
unlike
they're like, no, I want to lose to Iden for max banners with it. That's all.
well, and I feel like it just matters how your roster is built. Like for me, it wouldn't make sense to do that because I don't have them on Mothma squad. So
Right? Oh yeah, totally.
it wouldn't work. But I do agree with you that we don't know what the new territory battle is going to entail. So if you only had one Omicron, I would probably wait to do it. But I think a lot of these are going to carry over, and I'm expecting that we're going to get more territory battle Omicrons, especially once that drops.
Such as like maybe a Cassian one
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if we got a Cassian Omicron.
for territory battles. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think yeah. Otherwise, well, whatever. This isn't the speculation piece of it. I think we're gonna get one for Bad Batch at some point too for territory battles. That's my.
Okay.
I don't know if that's. I think we'll get one for Bad Batch, but I think Bad Batch are gonna be part of this new territory battle.
I could see that.
Because they're part of that era.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it makes sense. So,
Yeah. Speaking of which, we could actually, why don't we, our tune review today is
mm-hmm.
going to be of Omega because she just recently-ish went to that word I can never remember. The
Accelerated.
boosted. Yeah. See, Sarah's been very critical today. She's like, it's not that hard to remember. I'm like, literally can't do it, so it is hard for me. But she doesn't, get it. Or maybe she does and she's just giving me a hard time. But accelerated Omega is a thing now, and we're going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. We can look at my Gear 9 Omega.
Oh man, should we though?
Probably not. She's 7-star at least.
Good. Okay, so you farmed all of your Bad Batch. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, I assume like she'd be the last piece of the puzzle for
Yes.
most people.
They are farmed.
Okay, so what do you know about Omega? Like what makes her good?
She has a cleanse, right?
Click on her cleanse.
Isn't it this one?
If that's a cleanse, yeah.
Says she has a dispel.
Yeah. So on herself, yes.
Yep. And
she heals everyone.
Yeah. Well, she gives them, I guess, protection up. So yeah.
I guess just she gives Bad Batch allies gain an additional 20% turn meter and protection over time for 2 turns. So that's the heal I was talking about, I guess.
Okay.
Which it's not exactly a heal, but as they're taking turns, they are healing. Yeah, so that one just puts her back into stealth and, give some more resilience. But here's the thing about Omega, so she's the one that like all of those snide comments about high single fire damage
Right.
come from. Like CG worded it poorly, and everyone has latched onto that and have never letting that go ever.
So I heard this thing, and I don't know how accurate it is. I'm curious if you've heard this. Where CG was told to build a kit for a high damage DPS character and wasn't told which character it was, and they assumed it was going to be Crosshair, and then found out it was Omega.
Well, here's the thing. She's the reason Bad Batch does a crazy amount of damage, actually. Like, people just don't see it. Like, they don't want to see it. But she passively assists every time they take a turn.
Okay.
And that assist hits all of the characters. And
So she's doing an AoE?
Essentially, yeah. Like it doesn't you can't counter it because it's just her assisting. But yeah, like it's based off of like all these mechanics, such as like if you can do true damage if you have protection up, if you have defense up, and then tech allows you to do when you do hits, it hits all of the characters for a certain percent of damage, and so. You do your abilities, and it's like, okay, Hunter does obvious damage because he throws his knives, and Wrecker stuns everyone and does his AoE. And Echo dispels everyone. Tech does an AoE that does some damage but stuns everyone and cleanses the whole team. Like, they all do their thing, and throughout it all, Omega's sitting there just going plink, 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 plink.
Right.
And doing all that damage. Like, sometimes slow down, like watch a Bad Batch fight and slow it down and watch every time they take a turn and she shoots, you see white damage on all 5 characters you're fighting. And
Right.
then they do another move, 5, like it'll be like their damage, and then a minute later her shot will do 5 more instances of damage, and it just like that's eventually what kills the whole team.
Right.
So whereas it is a misspeak to say she's high single fire damage because she doesn't do one shots. She's not Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Right.
She still does an immense amount of damage. Not to mention, even if she didn't do that, she'd be very instrumental in 5v5 because as a 5th member of the team, she's also lets Wrecker pre-taunt.
Right. Because you need the full 5 Bad Batch there.
Right. So, and she's got the heal for everyone. She's much better than people give her credit for. She also has, I forget, is it daze or blind on her basic? Can you click on her basic real quick?
Blind. Oh, blind and daze.
Why not both?
Why not both?
Yeah. Oh, if she has evasion up, and I forget where she gets evasion up, but that can be useful sometimes. I don't really ever pay attention to trying to get her evasion up, if I'm being honest, but no, she's an important part of the team, and it's just non-obvious how much damage she does because it's spread out among all the different characters, and it happens over the course of several turns, but it's way more insidious than like any like damage over time kind of damage. So,
right.
Yeah,
I know that she is, like, I've heard you say this, and other content creators have said, like, you want her on the team if you want it to be viable.
Yeah, like people are like, oh, you only need 4, and I'm like, well, yeah, like sometimes Bad Batch can beat a team with just 4. That's fine. You're going to do a whole lot better if you have Omega on your team, though. Like your win percentages go way higher.
Right. So it's like, do you risk it and not take her, or do you add the safety net kind of thing?
Yeah, she's great, man. She really is. Whether you like her in the show or not, you want to mock her accent, you want to, pretend like she's bad in the game. I guess that's trendy and cool still. So that's also an option. But
Right.
it's not an option that I will necessarily respect you for doing. So for taking, maybe I will. Maybe I'll surprise everyone, including myself. So that's Omega.
All right. Okay, you want to look at this pack that we've got in the store?
Yeah.
So there isn't a whole ton that is super amazing, but they have this new one here that I thought was interesting. It's here for 17 more days. So it is this Iden, what's it called? It's a step up offer. I've never seen something called a step up offer before. Also, fun fact, in case you didn't realize, I've got my Canadian pricing back in game because the title update fixed that. Thank you, CG, 3 months later.
They're like, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. Oh yeah, we'll
Oh
fix
yeah,
it. Sure. Yep, we'll
it was
fix
your
it.
fault. Look at that. Um,
You know what else is their fault?
don't say
Your bad attitude.
it. That's not their fault. Okay, so
So this would be what, $30 US?
it's probably 28 or 25 US.
Let me look. I'm looking.
Um,
25. Yep.
there you go. 25 US. So, but at first when I clicked on it, I thought you would just get like a character and credits. You get all of this. You get all 5 characters. It's guaranteed shards. So if you don't have them,
Yeah. Okay. For $25, you can only buy one of them, I guess.
yeah,
But
purchase limit 1.
this will unlock Versio though.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't have her at all, if you came into the game, this will unlock all of them. And okay. So what are your initial thoughts? I'll let you vent your spleen here as well first.
I mean, my initial thoughts were that it's not that bad. It's basically $5 a character to unlock them. 4 of them are accelerated. Is Iden accelerated?
I
I
don't
don't
know what
think
that
so.
word means.
Sped up, double farmed.
Oh, that. I
Yeah.
don't know if she is or not. I don't know. She's not because we just struggled through that farm on my alt.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
that's right.
Yeah, it took forever.
Um, okay, but 4 of these are accelerated, so you're getting a boost to them automatically.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I guess my question is, where's Death Trooper? Because if it's, I think it's on a hard node, isn't it? It's been a long time since I've had to farm Death Trooper. Let me look that up real quick because otherwise,
Well,
you're getting.
they would all be on a hard node or Cantina if they're not going to be on a normal node.
Well, what I'm saying is Magma Trooper
Mm-hmm.
and Snow Trooper and Storm are
Mm-hmm.
all in shops that
Oh,
have a
okay.
ton of currency. For a new player, you can just farm them like really fast
Right.
instead of on a node. Like a hard node is the reason this pack would be good.
Right.
And so this is the right team. I was curious to see what team they would choose for this. This is the correct team that
Mm-hmm.
most people would prescribe the Iden Versio squad to be. I know that you can kind of divide them up if you want to do Moff Gideon and do stuff, but Moff Gideon team is not really that. Like, it was kind of fun to watch people try it, but it's so awkward compared to just using the pre-established teams, frankly. Yeah, so Death Trooper, let me see. I'm clicking on. Okay, so he's Cantina. But I mean
Okay.
Cantina is where you get relics. So I would say that's the true value. Is Iden and Death Trooper for $25 if you're a brand new player, if you don't have
Mm-hmm.
these shards, this could be fine. It unlocks the Versio team.
Right.
It just and then they're farmable. I feel like some of these packs have a thing where it's like, well, it's not, hey, look, you unlock Versio, but now you're gonna have to spend like 2 years until you can actually get the character up to 7 stars or something.
Right. And I mean, she should be um so she is going to be accelerated March 16th.
Yeah, so still half a year.
Yeah. Before you get 2 shards for her.
Oh, that accelerated, right?
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep.
So there's still a good chunk of time to go,
Yeah.
basically.
But
I don't know. I thought it was decent, especially like obviously if you have them, it's not. But
right, this is middle of the road for me. Like
mhm.
the all the white troopers are just easily farmable in other shops. So
Mhm.
like there's no value there really. Like this is shard shop currency for them. So in my opinion, this is more. Is it worth it to get 80 of Death Trooper and 50 of Iden for $25?
Right.
So that's, 130 shards for 25 bucks. It's all right. It's okay value.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would say if you're a new player and you want to spend some money, there's absolutely worse packs out there. You need to be a pretty new player for this to be worth it, though, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
And if you live in the United States, it's probably worth a little more too. So,
right.
yay, Canada.
It's different price. Yay. Okay, cool. So I think the only thing we have left to do is to roast a roster.
I feel like you're in like the perfect mindset for that today.
Why would you say that?
No reason, Sarah.
Yeah,
We'll direct your anger at something later,
that's
pretty
what I
soon.
that's what I thought. All right.
Right, you're not gonna bite my head off that easily, or maybe you will. All right, this person's name is Out of Sync, and
Hmm.
he's from Awakened Wookiees. They don't spell Wookiees accurately.
It's probably taken.
Nope.
I meant the guild name could be
I bet.
taken.
So they decided to misspell a really important word just because it's taken. Got it.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice of you. It's kind of you to give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so they're Chromium 3.
Hmm.
What's
They
their
are
GP?
4.5 million.
All right.
So right around. I don't want to say the sweet spot, but
What is the sweet spot for that account size?
okay. So Chromium 3. Let's look at their ships. Let's
Is this
see.
going to be a ship show?
We'll find out. I didn't look at this beforehand. I meant to, and I didn't. So
Oops. Oh man.
oopsies.
Relic. Oops, all berries. Sorry, that's a type of cereal. Their boba's not Relic 8 yet, so they don't have Executor,
No.
obviously. All right, so Kenobi and yeah, the negotiator's ready to go. Malevolence is good to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
So Radis,
they're farming at Ryder. I see.
Executor, and then obviously Profundity.
Oh, see, they're actually unlocking Finalizer. That's good.
Mm-hmm. That is good.
Good for them.
Um, okay.
Oh, they even have the tint.
5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
6-star echelon. Okay, so they're working on that.
Good.
Hyena bomber is not farmed. I know you love to hear that.
You have a 7-star Malevolence. Farm your frickin' Hyena Bomber. There's no excuse.
Battlebee is not farmed either.
You have a 7-star Negotiator. You farm your Y-Wing. There's no excuse.
Uh,
You have a Rebel Y-Wing
mm-hmm.
farmed, though. Okay. Because that makes some sense. Not. Ooh.
Okay. And then, okay, I guess bounty. So is he going for? I guess he's going for executor. These are the executor Rex, right?
Yeah, how's his Razor Crest? I didn't notice it.
Uh it's down here. It's farmed. It's not geared, but it is farmed. Well, Bam's not geared. Manual,
Okay.
whichever one the
And
pilot is.
Bam, yeah, he's not a required like he doesn't have to have any gear
Right.
as long as you have Razor Crest at 7 stars. Okay, so at 4.5, 4.6 really. This is okay. Like for fleets, he's got his priorities straight, I think. Like he has actually farming these things at 4.6. I may have had a little bit more things developed on my. This is like right around the size my professor or my Prevail Man account was at before
Yeah.
you know, I may have had a few more ships, but this is a decent amount of work on them. I would just say there's still no excuse. You have a 5-star hyena bomber, dude.
Yeah, that one hurts. And the Battlebee ship hurts. The Y-wing.
Yeah. I
Because
was
like
just think you're talking about Bartleby the Scrivener, which is
no, the Y-wing. Just because like you said, you have 7-star Malevolence and Negotiator. Both of them are relict.
there's
Just make the fleet good.
I think he's doing it to piss me off. I think this is about me.
It's a personal attack on you.
Can you click on the unspeakable thing
The
with the
unspeakable
stuff?
thing. The characters? Or
It starts
the
with a D.
Datacrons.
The D word.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just want to see. Scroll down a little bit. Okay, so no engagement. That's fine. That's fine. No, I'm not gonna make a comment one way or another. I'm always just curious where these people are, where their heads at. Okay.
Okay. So characters.
Sure.
Okay. So one Galactic Legend, Kenobi.
Okay.
Does he have cat? Let's just go to Galactic Republic.
If he see, this is the problem with advising people to farm these characters. I'm like, if you don't have cat, then Kenobi's not that great.
Yeah. No
I mean,
cat.
oh man.
No cat. Which I mean, I'm assuming he wasn't at 4 million GP when Cat was in Conquest, but that hurts to go through proving grounds.
He does have a Relic 3 or a Relic 2 General Skywalker.
Yeah.
Right.
Just hurts without Cat is all.
It does, yeah. That was probably a pretty garbage choice on your end, but
I feel like I probably would have picked somebody different.
yeah, like pretty much anyone different. So I was gonna say strike one, but that isn't strong enough.
That's
Let's
not
just
strong
continue.
enough. Do you have a different faction you would like to look at?
Let's look at Sith real quick. I saw he had Darth Revan. I want to see how robust that faction is for him.
It's not super robust.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just tough because I'm like, this is probably more relics in just this one faction than my entire Prevail Man account had spread amongst like the entire everything. So I'm like, this is disappointing, but it's 4.5, 4.6. We gotta keep that in mind. Could we look at Rebels, please?
Yeah. All right.
Prepare yourself for disappointment.
Oh,
Oh.
this kind of hurts.
Why do I ask for this?
I don't know, but this just makes me sad.
It should. Why do
just
you even
such-
have a Zeta on Chewie? What is the point? Why? Chewie, what would you say you do here?
I feel like this is such a strong team that is just being ignored.
Yeah, 5 characters. Just gear 5 characters. You don't even need C-3PO. If you're ignoring Datacrons, you don't care. Like, just and then you have a good pilot, and you only need a couple more Zetas. Like, just
Yeah.
just please work. Make this team non-worthless, please.
Such yeah, such a good team. I don't even know.
Please make better choices.
Let's just see what Empire looks like.
Okay. If you hit the confirm button, that helps. There you go. Okay, that's cool. Let's put an Omicron on Zeta free Mara Jade.
Yeah.
3 stars. Go. Activate.
Man. I'm
sure
just trying to figure out what I guess the next thing is Executor, but
Maybe just farm Mara Jade. I don't know. That's probably she's probably on the same. Probably can't. I bet she's
At
on the
least
same node as one of the pilotless ships.
I would at
And they're like,
least
no, I can't. I can't farm that thing, so I can't farm her.
I would at least give her more gear. Like especially you gave her the Omicron. Take her to gear 11 at least.
Yeah, and maybe farm her because she's really good. And you already have Emperor Palpatine,
Mm-hmm.
mostly geared. Like,
Yeah,
okay, well, I'm pretty grossed out. Yeah, so I guess Executor's next.
I guess. That's
I mean, I think that's smart. Honestly, it's wise.
yeah, I think so too. Executor's definitely next.
I'll tell you what
Um,
makes me sad is when I see a Relic 5 Cad Bane
mhm.
on the same roster. Oh my gosh. And he has the Omicron on a
on,
worthless Zam as well.
on Zam.
Oh, but like Grief and Mando are just like rolling in squalor right now. They're filthy and poor and wretched and some of these other undeserving bounty hunters are like, "What? We want some relics."
Look at relics. I guess that's what happens. I mean, with Executor, but yeah, definitely
Yeah.
take Zama. She's 7-star too. You can take her to gear 12. Give her
He
6 dot mods.
he can't though. That's not a thing he can do. Fennec is also like, "I'm in squalor too."
Fennec's in the squalor of all squalor.
The squalor zone. It's worse than the friend zone.
Oh. Okay. Do you have one more faction you want to look at? I don't know how much time we have.
We're way out of time.
All right, fine.
Um, Geos just for
Just
fun,
cause.
funsies. I guess I don't know. My apathy toward Geos is vast. Oh
His,
yeah,
his Geos have more gear than Zam and Mara Jade.
and Grief.
Hmm.
Definitely can't say good grief about this count.
I don't know. I feel like this is normal to see for Geos.
Yeah, I don't know why though. I don't know why we're supposed to have good Geos. Like, when was the last time you saw any team centered around Geos
Hmm.
that actually like I use Geos with my Sith Eternal teams as a tank. I use
Right.
one Geo, and the rest are like, oh well, they're okay at fleets, I guess.
Right. They just hang out.
Poggle's like, yeah, I can do things. I'm like, shut up, Poggle. No one asked you.
Poggle cannot do things.
Poggle's like, wow. That wasn't a good impression. All right.
All right.
That was my impression of what I think of this roster. How
Oh,
about that?
that's just sad.
I know. I made myself sad.
Oh, Wampa has his Omicron too. Man, it's
Tell
a lot
your
of
guild.
Omicrons.
Tell your guild leaders to learn how to spell Wookiees, please. You don't have to, but please do. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. We're out of time.
Oh, yeah. We're almost at 40 minutes.
Oh, yikes. Okay, that's it. That's all. We're done.
All right. Goodbye.